Hi, my name is Rich Harrington, Chief Product Evangelist for Luminar AI, and I'm here today to answer this frequently asked question. To install into Lightroom, go ahead and download the Luminar AI installer. Launch it. Then review the licensing agreement. When ready, click Accept. You'll see the ability to install for plugins here. Make sure that the Adobe applications are not currently running, then click Install. When it finishes installing, you could launch. Your plugin should be available. If for any reason, though, you're having issues, you can install the plugins manually. In Luminar AI, just go to the File menu on Windows or the Luminar AI menu on Mac and choose Install Plugins. Here, you'll see the plugins listed. If you're having any trouble, just uninstall and then reinstall the plugin. Quit Luminar AI and feel free to launch Lightroom Classic. I want to show you how to use plugins with Adobe Lightroom. What we can do is easily select an image that we want to work with. If this image is something that you've modified in Lightroom, you can send that over and include the adjustments with it. For example, let's say we made some basic changes here and took advantage of their color grading tools. Well, that's fine. If you want to send those with, just choose Photo, Edit in Luminar AI. A new dialog opens. If it's a JPEG or a TIFF, you could send over a copy or the original file if you want to overwrite. When working with a RAW or DNG file, you'll have to send a copy. From the copy file options at the bottom here, you can choose format, such as TIFF, Adobe RGB, or ProPhoto RGB, and 16-bit. When you click Edit, it will generate the file from Lightroom and then send that to the Luminar plugin. You'll notice that it automatically stacked it here as well, and it becomes another image. Luminar opens the image, and it'll make suggestions in the For This Photo. You're free to experiment with different looks here to try them out. If you find something you like, feel free to click over to edit the template. For example, maybe I want to adjust that texture slightly and make it a little more transparent so the bokeh is a little more subtle. And then here from Essentials, I'll take advantage of accent and a little bit of structure to bring out the texture of the jeans and the environment. When I'm ready, I can click Apply and the results are returned to Lightroom. Remember, several effects are being applied, so this takes a little bit more time than a basic Lightroom adjustment. You'll see that it's stacked with the original, and in your library here, you'll have the original photo and the processed one. This is because Lightroom requires that it hands off a TIFF file. If you take a look in your library, you'll see this as long as you're taking a look at a folder of images, generally speaking. Try to avoid albums or you might miss it. Additionally, there's another great benefit, and that is sending the RAW file. If you need to really bring out the full dynamic range, select the image that you want to send. Then choose File, Plugin Extras, Transfer to Luminar AI. It'll now send the raw data directly from Lightroom Classic into Luminar AI. There it is. Now I have access to the full raw data. I can use the For This Photo section to quickly find presets that will jumpstart my editing, then switch on over to Edit here and make adjustments. Let's do a little bit of Enhance, and that looks good. Just a touch of structure. I'll use the Erase tool here and quickly remove this distracting object. Choose Erase. Let's use Composition to get a better crop. With one click, it analyzes and crops the photo. I like that. I'm just going to go a touch looser. Let's use Structure for some great detail. And we'll switch on over to Creative. Experiment with the different moods, where I can easily adjust the amount and the contrast of the mood. as well as add a gentle glow with Mystical. I like that. I could see the before and after. And with one click, it'll return to my Lightroom catalog. The benefit here of using the raw file is you had better control on recovering shadows and highlight details. And you might be wondering, where is it? Well, in this case, notice the difference between previous import and all photographs. This is the gotcha. Click on all photographs. Now, if you scroll through, you'll be able to locate it. The other advantage here is relying upon folders as well. So there are the two images side by side. Remember, previous import can be tricked because it remembers what was previously imported as a smart collection. Instead, if you just go to the folder itself, where the image came from, you'll see that it's easy to locate and that we have the two files side by side, the raw and the newly imported one that was processed. It does maintain the shooting date of the original.